it is a great way, just to elaborate what you're saying, it's a great way to nurture the clients that you already have. And what we mean by that is when you do work with them, so let's say you're a former electrician, roofer, if you start collecting those emails when after you do a job, then eventually, if you do a plumbing job, they're most likely going to need another plumber down the road. And odds are, maybe if they only work with you one time, they might forget about you. That's just the realistic aspect of it. But if you have their emails, you can be touching base with them even on a monthly, a bi-monthly, a weekly basis. So when something does arise that they have an issue with their plumbing again, you're at the front of their mind and they're more likely to call you. It's a great way to continue to have recurring customers and clients with your businesses. Hello, welcome to another episode of DM Shop Talk. My name is Mike, and I am the media production specialist with Valorous Circle. And here with me is
I'm Jeremy, and I'm the Senior Director of Marketing.
awesome. We're excited to have another episode where we get to share some digital marketing tips that we think would benefit every business, but especially our friends with the home service businesses. And a few episodes ago, Jeremy and I compiled a list of priority items that we think all home service business owners should be using. In each episode, we're kind of working our way down the list. Like last week, we discussed what Google Guaranteed is. So shameless plug, if you don't know what Google Guaranteed is, we would love for you to go look at last week's episode so you can learn a little bit about it and why you should be using it for your own business. But today, Jeremy, we're going to go on the next list on our item, which is reliable. And
Emails, right?
Email lists.
Yeah.
Why? I mean, the first question, people probably, as soon as we said that, are getting triggered. Like, why it's 2023. Why do we still work with email? My emails are compiled with spam and all this nonsense. Jeremy, why do we still work with emails? Why do we still work with emails?
I think it's pretty easy, honestly. And nowadays, people actually have to sign up to receive an email. So in my view, it's a type of permission marketing, means that we have permission to be in front of the people that we want to start serving. So it's perfect for the people in the home service industry because it's a great way to reactivate your database on a regular basis. Meaning if you have a special or you are providing a discount or referral incentives, it's really easy to put that in front of people, usually in a pretty easy manner, through an email program. So I'm a big fan of it. Are you a big fan of it, Mike?
No, most definitely. And I think it's because it is a great way, just to elaborate what you're saying, it's a great way to nurture the clients that you already have. And what we mean by that is when you do work with them, so let's say you're a former electrician, roofer, if you start collecting those emails after you do a job, then eventually, if you do a plumbing job, they're most likely going to need another plumber down the road. And odds are, maybe if they only work with you one time, they might forget about you. That's just the realistic aspect of it. But if you have their emails, you can be touching base with them even on a monthly, a bi-monthly, a weekly basis. So when something does arise that they have an issue with their plumbing again, you're at the front of their mind and they're more likely to call you. It's a great way to continue to have recurring customers and clients with your businesses. And so that's why it's so important to be collecting those emails when you're doing those jobs. I can't express that enough, how important it is to be collecting those emails when you do those jobs. And Jeremy can probably elaborate. There's so many things you can do once you have that email list built. I'm already scratching at the surface with a referral campaign. But Jeremy, what are some other ways when they have an email list of current or past clients, what they can do with it?
Yeah. So I use the term like a reactivation campaign prior. I think that's probably biggest thing people can do with an email list personally, meaning that every time you send out an email, your name, your brand name, should be in that subject line, or in the brief description of, like, why they're getting the email, who they're getting it from, um, and then it's a name face recognition. So every time they see your name, they're going to get the services that you provided with them. If it was a great service, they're going to be happy to open the email. Obviously, the value inside that email is going to be important as well. We've seen home service companies, notify people when they post really important content on their website, so it links back to their website. We've seen home service companies offer discounts on services. So if it's like a yearly thing that happens, let's say, you have to blow out your sprinklers every fall. It's a great way to like offer an incentive or a discount for people who want to move on that early, and for you to start getting busy prior to the buildup of a season. And then also just being present for your clients. Make sure those emails contain something like, the positive reviews you've gotten in the past week or month, making sure that you are resourceful. It doesn't always have to link back to your website. It could actually link to another website or another article or something like that, that be really easy for your clients to look at, watch, maintain. It's a great way to just like send videos out to people. So if you're doing a YouTube channel, you can actually send out those videos anytime that you send out an email. Tips, tricks, infographics, like all this stuff just kind of like combines into like one big recipe that you can send out an email for each one of those individually if you wanted to, as long as you're not really spamming, which is emailing at a high rate for people. In my opinion, it is one of the best ways to get in front of people that you already have permission to market to. And every time a company sends out an email, there's a really good chance you're going to get business from it. So.
I really like what you said. It stuck out to me when you mentioned like offering when it's fall time, like come out and blow out your sprinklers. It made me think of just one of the best ways you can do it. Let's say you're going through it's your slow season. No matter what, every business goes through slow seasons or slow couple months here and there. That's just the world we live in. Email campaigns, you already have a database of people. You're not shooting a shotgun out in the air trying to hope people see it. You already have a list of people that have done work with. And so it's just a great way when you're going through a slow season to offer up a free inspection, offer up a free roof inspection for you to go and inspect their roof and possibly find a job through there. Offer a free HVAC inspection. Just offer a 10% off a service repair. Do those little mini offers that you can send out via email to these recurring customers, so that they are more likely to work with you again. And once again, it'll help boost you during a season when you might not be getting as many phone calls as you like. Mm-hmm. I also want to emphasize, just like I always say, all of these are part of one machine. They're all helping each other. So by me saying this isn't downgrading the other service, but unlike advertisements, unlike a lot of other marketing sources that you can use, email is completely free. That you don't even I don't have to pay for my Gmail. I don't have to pay for my Yahoo. It is completely free. Now we can get into the logistics of things. If you want to put money towards a email marketing automation system, that's different. But like, at least to start, it is completely free for you to be reaching out to your customers through email. And it's the reason why I kicked off this podcast. Also, it's all reliable. What I mean by that is everything else around digital marketing is ever changing. I will always be the first one to promote that you need to be posting on social media, but social media is ever adapting. Like every 5 years, there's a new social media platform, and it's always adjusting. Even Facebook's been around the longest. They're always changing the rules. Everything around digital marketing, how you optimize and run your website, how you work with Google, all of this is always changing. But one thing I will always say that's not changing is email. Email is consistent. It's been the oldest thing since day one of the internet till now. It's one of the most consistent ways to continue to get in front of people. Uh, Once again, we can't stress this enough. I feel like this is like an infomercial for email, but we can't stress this enough just because it's like a lot of things. People think that it's old, outdated, and no one checks it, but that couldn't be anything wrong. Jeremy, what do you think? Do you check your email every day? Like, do you think
Mhm.
people are checking their emails? Like, what would you say to a home service business owner that says, I don't want to put any effort or time into email marketing just because no one checks their emails? What would you say to that person?
I would actually ask them, does the service they provide offer any value to somebody? And normally it's going to be a yes. And would you rather be in front of them by sending out an email that shows the value that you bring to them, or have them call somebody else? And typically the question answers itself,
Yeah.
because they'll go to the people that are most convenient or the people that they think of first. And if you're always in front of people, giving them value, they should be thinking about you
Yeah.
first. So that's my suggestion. Just if you don't want them to go somewhere else, try to be in front of them. And they honestly have the option to unsubscribe. So if they don't want to receive your emails, they can hit that unsubscribe button, or tell you to stop emailing them. At least don't take it as an insult. I mean, I'm sure you've unsubscribed to emails as well, but they have the option. So why not do it? That's been my question.
Running off of that, uh, obviously, we all know that we do get there a lot of emails. Emails is a very big competitive market, Jeremy. So we've talked so far about why people should be doing emails. I guess, and we kind of want to shift this conversation into how they should be doing it. How does someone craft an email or subject line that will stand out amongst the thousands of emails they're getting a week or a month? Like, how do they craft an email that will actually get people to click on it?
Mhm. So normally, the most important thing is gonna be the subject line. In copywriting, it's very easy to put value, result, and then an incentive. So let's kind of circle back to get your sprinklers blown out before winter time. Um, a Let's say $200 value offered at the incentive price. Maybe it's like $175. So that $25 savings is what they'd be what they'd be saving off that job. I think it's more than that, but this is an example. Um, Normally, if you're point and blank on that subject line of what you're offering, there's no question asked about what's going on, or um, why they got the email, then normally people will click on it. And we've seen click rates of like 50% when somebody, or open rates of 50% when somebody sends out emails with that very blatant subject line. Inside the email, have imagery, images of you providing the service, or maybe you can get like some stock images of somebody performing that service. Make sure there's clear buttons they can click on to get that fulfilled. So does it go to a contact form? Does that button go to a website with a contact form, or um, can they pay for it outright off that email, off of a link? So the email doesn't have to be long, doesn't have to be a Bible, pretty much. It can be short, to the point, offer the incentive, and you're going to get some clicks off of it. I know you will. So my answer is always going to be the simplest one. Do things that make you click on something, and you're going to get results.
No, most definitely. And I know my personal email, my personal experience, it's those subject lines that really stick out as I'm going through each day, and I'm clearing out the clutter of emails that are coming in. The subject lines that stick out to me, that offer value, that offer something free, that offer a discount, that offer something useful, that does add value to me. Those are the ones I'm still actually clicking on, looking through, seeing what's actually there. So I want to reiterate what Jeremy is saying. Like, if you can create a subject line that sticks out, that literally says it right up, that if you're offering to clear out the sprinklers for the fall, make sure that's right in the subject line. If you're offering a discount for it, maybe you're offering a discount, a 10% discount, make sure that's right in the subject line, because that's the type of stuff that'll actually get people to stop and be like, oh, well, I actually do need that done. And two, it's just like, oh, a discount. Well, I'm going to go to you to do it because you're offering a discount. And so that's what that subject line will get people to actually stop and click your email. Now, Jeremy, the next thing that a lot of people, business owners might be doing is just like, this is awesome. And they're like, they might feel the burden. They might feel the burden. I know I need to be on email. I know I need to be doing it. But I don't have time. I don't have time. I don't have time. Uh, what would you say to someone who doesn't have time? They can't do it. Is there anything that might be able to help them? Maybe any automated systems that might be able to help them get this situation or situated an email campaign so they don't have to worry about it?
Yeah. Well, I would not argue the fact that people don't have time. Most of the time, it's a lack of skill set. You can find the time to do most anything you need to for your business. That's my personal belief. Um, if it's lack of know-how or lack of a system, I definitely would give us a call. Obviously, I don't want to be self-promoting the whole time, but we have a very simple program that is very easy to compose an email and send it out to the masses. Um, if you're looking for a recipe, it's going to be, once again, the kind of subject: what value do they bring? What are going to be the results, and what is the incentive? With a big call to action. It doesn't have to be complicated, and you can actually write these out personally if you need to. So if you don't have an email system, you can do a blind carbon copy BCC on your email system to send out to up to, I think, 75 people at a time, and allowing them to open that up as needed. Um, in my opinion, one email, a decent email, is probably take 15 minutes to compose and send out. That's once you get into the hang of it. Maybe 30 minutes at max before that. Um, Schedule the time. You guys can follow a schedule. I know you can because you have clients. Make sure it's in your calendar. Make sure it gets done. Schedule time to think about what you want to do. Schedule time to complete it. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm a get stuff done type of person. So I think that if somebody wants to do it and they know that it's going to be valuable to their business, I'd actually frame that question as, what is it costing me not to be doing this? So if you're not in front of your people on a consistent basis, what is going to be the result of that? It's going to be lack of business, and then your people are going to go to somebody else, and I guarantee that other person that they're going to has an email system already set up in place, and then they'll be remembered from here on for eternity because they get emails on a consistent and constant basis from that other company. If you're not doing it, you're going to be behind. That's what's going to be costing you not to do it. So,
And what would be, is there any way in 2023 that home business owners could be using AI maybe to help them write these emails even faster? What does something like that look like?
yeah. If you haven't heard of ChatGPT or Google Bard, these are systems that are free for anybody to use, and you can put in the recipe. This is the value I'm bringing. This is the result they're going to get. This is the incentive. And you can pretty much say, help me compose an email for my clients. And they're going to give you a paragraph too, maybe even a full page email they can send out to your clients based on the question, the query that you asked the AI program. You can take that, copy it, and then paste it into whatever program you're using, regular Gmail, if it's going to be, Thomas or MailChimp or something along those lines. It's not hard to do. And a lot of these programs are actually starting to add those AI elements to the writing prompts to help companies really understand the science of what goes into writing a really good email to get out to the masses. Great question, Mike.
Yeah, no, I always want to emphasize ChatGPT, any AI, Bard, any AIs, if you're using it for like content creation like this, like emails, using it, always preface, it's not going to always be perfect. And so always make sure you just reread it. For the most part, like grammar and spelling will be there. It's more or less just making sure that it fits your brand's voice, that the AI knows like your own services. And so just make sure, like if you're crafting an email through it, just reread it. Maybe you'll have to tweak a sentence or two here, but just always like no matter what, tweaking an already written email is a lot faster than having to write the email from scratch. So no matter what, you'll be saving a lot of time by using this as well. And you can use it for many other things too. But we can have another episode on just the power of AI and how that can be utilized for how to grow your business. But for now, emails, it's a great way. As Jeremy said, It's all really about the prompt. You're kind of having a conversation with the AI to really discuss, like, okay, these are the goals in the email. This is what I want the email to look like. This is kind of what I want the email to say. And then boom, it'll write it for you, and then you can tweak it from there. So it's very interesting how AI has come this year, how far it's come, and how powerful it is, and how it can really help you in your email list campaign. So hopefully, if you've learned one thing from today, is that email's not dead, and email will help you continue to grow your business. Jeremy, do you think there's anything email wise that we haven't discussed that would be of importance for home service businesses?
I do.
Yeah.
And Mike, I'm going to ask you a question because you're really good at asking me questions. How should people go about capturing those emails from potential clients?
Yeah. And I know we talked a little bit about it in other podcasts, but I think the two biggest ones are, one, as I said, for reoccurring clients, when you do a job, make sure you're collecting their email, whether it's part of their information that they fill out, part of their contract right from the start, or as you're kind of wrapping up the job. Make sure you collect their email from the get-go. And so you have a list of all your past clients. And then the second one we always like to talk about is your lead magnet. We've talked a little bit about a lead magnet in past episodes, but a lead magnet is something that you put on your website, and it's just like a little offering, whether it's like an offer. So like insert your email and get a 10% off your next inspection. It could be something along the lines of an offering, or it could be something of like a downloadable infographic. So in this instance, it could be if you're a roofer, what are 10 damage prevention tips that all homeowners should use. Just something that if they fill in their email, they can get that graphic, something that adds value that they would want to exchange their email for to get that graphic. So it's this free offering that'll be on your website that they can exchange their email for. So that's a new way that you can get emails from people that you don't or that you haven't done work for yet. So asking for jobs, or asking the email from jobs with people that you have done work for, using lead magnet to get new emails from people that you haven't worked with for. You can also, I know Jeremy could probably talk a little bit more about this, you can run ads towards this lead magnet. There's other ways besides it just sitting on your website. There are other ways to send people to this lead magnet to get them to download it or accept the free offering in exchange for their email. And once again, you can then take those emails of clients that you haven't done work yet and start running campaigns for them, start touching base with them on a bi-weekly, monthly basis, however you deem is necessary for your business. And eventually, when they do need a plumbing repair, a roofing repair, they'll be on the front of your mind. And so as I say, those are my two things. Do you have any others to add to collect emails?
Yeah, I think that utilizing the power of social media is a great way to do it too. People can run very, very simple contests and with a very, very small reward, and you'd be surprised about the amount of emails you get just off of doing stuff like that. So let's say you had a jar full of marbles and you wanted to say, guess how many marbles are in the jar. Closest one wins. And in order to even register to win, you have to put your full name in, your email, and they have to consent to getting emails from you in the future. Not that hard to do, even if it's off of like a Google form, which are free to the masses. But that's a great way to get people who, one, you're going to get a little bit more viral or a little bit more sticky on social media because of that post, because people are reacting to it, especially if you ask them to. And it's just a really simple way to start gathering those email addresses to people who are going to be interested in your services in the future. Obviously that's one of like many ways you can do it, but feel free to run, contests that are legal, small rewards, and you're going to be getting a lot of email addresses to come in that way. That's my opinion and our experience from people who've participated like that. So
yeah, mix it up a bit. I'm going to say run a contest here, do a little game here, like have fun with it. Mix it up a little bit, because as Jeremy said, not only will you be collecting those emails, but you can also just be making your social media engagements more fun, which will also help grow your social media brands in general. But obviously the goal that those contests will be getting emails, but there'll be all other side impacts that'll help your business grow as well. So make sure you're just having fun with it. Those contests can
Yep.
be really fun, and a lot of people, there's a reason why they work. It's because a lot of people like playing them. A lot of people like competing. It's our human
Yep.
nature. We like to compete. As I say, you wouldn't be a business owner if you didn't like to compete, basically, you know?
Yep.
This is,
I,
go ahead.
no, I think emails are a great way for a business to start a foundation of new clients, get that book of business rolling. So even if you started off on day one, um, your social sphere, getting those email addresses from the people that already know you, like you, and trust you, and just building up from there. Run small contests, um, have a launch party, whatever have you. So even if you started today with your business, there's a way to capture hundreds or thousands of email addresses, even by the end of the week, if you start doing this properly and building into it on a consistent basis through lead magnets, social media, and then just work it out for your sphere of influence. So
Yeah, no, most definitely. I totally agree. And it's just a great foundation. And as I said, once again, I want to read it. It's old reliable. Everything else is changing so much, so fast. Email has been the most consistent and most constant form of digital media over the past 2 decades. So it's always important to make sure that you're touching on every aspect that is digital marketing, and email is one of them. So if you haven't, let's end this. Let's wrap this up podcast by saying, if you haven't started collecting emails, make sure you're starting to do that for your business now. Here's me telling you, this is your wake up call. That's what I was looking for. This is your wake up call to start collecting those emails, to really start touching base and nurturing your past clients, and then reaching out to new people through campaign as well. Jeremy, you have any parting words for people as they go on with their week?
just do it. That's honestly, if you're not doing it, just get it done. It's going to be fantastic for your business.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of DM Shop Talk, coming out every Friday. Thank you very much, and we hope you guys all have a good one.
Cheers.